Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to one of our cybersecurity videos. My name is Mina, and today I'm going to show you how to install a graphical interface on a Linux machine that we installed in Azure services. So if you go back to the previous videos, we have first video to how to install the virtual machine on Azure using the free service accounts. So Azure or Microsoft give you 12 months or 1 year free of some services if you sign up for a free account. So we've signed up for account, created a virtual machine on Ubuntu server Linux on Azure itself. Then the second video was how to connect to the machine for the first time using SSH protocols. And today I'm going to show you how to install the graphical interface on the machine, how to enable RDP connection on it, and then you can connect to it and see the graphical interface like a Windows machine or a Mac machine using remote desktop connection. So let's go to the machine. So this is the IP address of the machine. Let's start from the scratch. So you log into portal.azure.com. You log in or tap on virtual machines. You'll find your virtual machine you created here. Click on it, and then this is a public IP address that you use to connect to it. So I'm going to copy that one and then open remote desktop connection, paste it, and try to connect to it. As you can see, nothing is wrong with it, but still there is no connection because there is no service installed on the Linux machine yet. So I'm going to cancel because there is an error coming up, and you can see it here. So just say you cannot connect to this machine, there is no service, or it's not up and running. A typical error of connection refused. So I'm going to minimize this one. So I've put here, you can see, let me also minimize the other screen. So I'm going to minimize this one. So I've put a few commands. I'm going to install lightweight desktop. This is, at least I say, recommended. You can use other apps also or other services, because this one is very light on the machine, doesn't consume much of resources on the machine itself. So these are the commands. We are going to reconnect, and we go through the whole mess or process to install and enable the RDP connection. I will put this text, or this is Word file, in the description of the video so you can follow up, and it will be also on the website later on. And the website is let me get you the right command. So it is cybersecureworld.net. So I'm going to copy that one, and so this is our website. You will find it here later on. I'm gonna create a page later on, so I'm just gonna close that one. So this is our website. So I've post everything on that website, so you can go and follow up. All the videos are on our YouTube channels, and everything in both of them. So let's start. First, I'm going to connect to the machine using our MOBA Exterm application, and we are going to connect SSH. I've explained this in a previous video on how to connect to the machine using the private keys that you get from the virtual machine itself. So I'm going to double click on the machine. I log in as my username. We've created that before. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. And now we are connected to the machine itself. So let me clear the screen so we can start. So first, we're gonna install lightweight desktop. So I'm going to do, let's start with this one. Okay. Yep. So no LSB modules available. I'm just going, this is to update everything on the machine. I'm just now switching between windows to copy the command and show it to you here. So we'll paste. And now we are upgrading everything or updating everything on the machine itself. Okay. Almost finished. All right. As you can see, all of this depending on the internet speed on the virtual machine. It's not my machine, it's the speed itself on Azure services. So it's not related to your internet connection, it's related to Azure or Microsoft connections to the internet. This is why I say this application mobile exterm is good other than the other application I used. It gives you coloring on the text to tell you there is something wrong. So the red here say there is something wrong. So if this is a long way and if there is no coloring and if there is error, you're gonna miss it. Most probably you're gonna miss it, but at least for the coloring, you see, oh yeah, there is a red color, there is something wrong here. And then you can read about it, go back to it, and then see, oh yeah, I need to fix that, I need to do this, and so on. That's why I'm using this application, because of the coloring on the text itself. Okay, so it is done, and now it is better to reboot the system. So I'm going to reboot it and giving a few minutes or maybe a few seconds, not minutes. Usually it's very fast. Let's see if I ping it. Just going to see if it's on or not. Usually it takes few seconds to get up and running again. You can just press R to restart the session, and yes, it's on. So I'm going and I'm in again. Let's clear the screen, make it up a little bit for you to see. So let's go to the rest. Let me minimize this one. So the next step, so I've done that. Let's put it in red. And this one in red. So we finished this part. So now I'm going to install XFCE Desktop Lite. And there is another one called X Ubuntu Stack. It's a full like a heavier application or a heavier service that you can use, but I'm using this one because it's very light and the machine itself is very weak in resources. So let's copy that one, minimize, let's go back to the machine and let's paste it. Minimize this one. So we finished this part, so I'm gonna just to put in red so I can see which part I've finished already. And then we need to install and enable XRDP. That's the service where we can enable RDP connection or remote desktop connection to the Linux machine. I'm gonna install it, add my user to this group, and then we assign SSL certificate. We enable it in the system control, the service itself. So I'm going to copy that one for now, and let's go back. So this one's still installing. So going to copy these commands. Let's go back. We're just gonna wait a few more seconds for this one to finish. So now once you install the Linux machine, it's on the cloud, you can connect to it and do whatever you want with it. It's free for 12 months. And this service is from Microsoft free accounts. Of course, if the machine is weak in resources and you want to make like a stronger machine, increase the RAM, increase the hard drive, increase processors, you're gonna pay for it. And usually Microsoft services are a little bit expensive than the rest. If you want to go with the paid version or the paid plans, I suggest you look up online for other cloud services that allow you to install virtual machines. You might find a few other services that is a little bit cheaper. I'm just using Azure service here because it's a free account, and this virtual machine is free on it, so I can use it to show you the steps and what's happening. So now we are almost 50% off. Give it a few more seconds and we'll continue from there. As you can see why I prefer this one. If I go up a little bit, it's a lot of text coming up. And if it's all white, just one color, you would miss stuff like that. Or if there is an error, you're gonna miss it because everything runs very quickly. So the red means there is an error, so you can look at it. And that's why I like this application, because the coloring of the text itself. See, it just, oh yeah, I captured there is a like a blue color, yellow or red, so it will tell you if something is wrong. %, almost finish. Yep, come on. So these repos are not the only ones to install on Linux. There are like I don't want to say huge number, but there is a number of repos that you can use if you prefer something else. If you prefer, like, let's say GNOME, it's also, you can install it on the machine. I'm just using this one because it's light. It doesn't take much of a resources on the machine itself. Let's go back. Yep, so it says finished, and I'm gonna clear, then gonna paste the other. Let's see. I'm going to copy that one, and let's insert. So it's gonna tell you, yes, inserting a few commands. I press OK. Yep. Then it will install, as I said before, the XRDP and enable the service. So I'm just going to put this in red also because we finished this one. Then we need to make XFCE is the RDP sessions to be used. So I'm going to copy these commands, and this is to ensure new users and your user launch XFCE when connecting. Now it's alright, everything is okay. And then here information, it's telling you adding the user to the group XRDP, and then adding the user XRTP to group SSL certificate. So everything is working fine, and the coloring gives you the information that you need to look for. Let me clear the screen. Let's just copy the next part of the commands. All right. Okay, done. So this part also is done. Let's put it in red. Now we're gonna open the port 3389, which is a remote desktop connection port in the firewall itself on the virtual machine. So I'm going to copy these. Let's go back, clear the screen so you can see. Paste. Yep. So status is inactive. So we need to enable, as you can see here, the status of the firewall itself, it's inactive. So let me copy that one. Let's see. Oh, why do I need to copy? I don't need to copy this one. Just let me go back to my notes, how to enable the firewall. Where is it? Somewhere here I've put it. Yep, so I need to enable the firewall itself. So it would be sudo ufw enable. Yes. So enabled. Let's go back. So I'm going to allow this one. And now let's see the status of the firewall, and now it's say active. 3389 TCP allowed anywhere, and version 6, which is IP version 6. So this is the RDP connection enabled in the firewall itself. So let's go back to our file. So as you can see, every part I finish, I just put it in red color. So I finish that one, finished that one, finish that one. So for every part, just to follow up with my script, so I didn't miss any, to make sure that I didn't miss anything, just put it in red color. As I said, this will be in the description and on the website itself. Now we need to allow RDP in Azure network, which is that is to tell Azure the virtual machine is allowed to RDP connection or remote desktop connection to it. We've already done this in the first video when we created the virtual machine, but let me tell you, if you missed the step and you didn't do it, how we can do it. So we need to go to the VM networking and then inbound port roles and add the rule itself, which is allowing the RDP connection to the virtual machine. So what we did, we allowed it in the firewall in the Linux itself, and now we need to tell Azure, please allow this port to be open so we can connect to the machine itself. So if I go, let me get some machine. So as I can see, let's go from scratch. So if you log into portal.azure.com and then open virtual machine, click on your machine, and then it would look like this. We expand networking, and then we go to network settings. And then if you scroll down, it will tell you what are the rules created. So we've already created this one when we created the machine itself, but let's say this one, it's not there. So you forgot to add this rule to the firewall itself of Azure service. So I'm just going to click on network, scroll down to see the inbound rules. This is under network security group. So I'm just gonna create rule protocol, and then create port rules, and then inbound port rule. So source any from any range, destination, custom, and then support it will be 3389, and it is TCP, and allow name RDP connection. This is just a name to remind you what is this exactly. You can just put a name, some description if you want. Click add. And now I've allowed two ports, the SSH port which is 22, and the RDP port which is 3389. Now this one is ready now to be connected. Let's go back to this one. So we've done that one, and then put it in red. Or there is another service in Azure called Azure Bastion, and which you can use to connect to the machine and avoid exposing the port to the internet. If you go back here and you in the Linux machine, if properties, when you click on it, click on connect and connect, and this is SSH. So if you expand more ways to connect, you will find the Bastion here, Basic Standard Premium. You can download this one and use it, but for simplicity now I'm going to use the remote desktop connection. So let's minimize this one. Now for this one, if we try to connect to the public IP address of the machine, so now I can see it. So let me minimize the Word file so you can see it. And as you can see here, I'm connected to the machine with a graphical interface, which is username and password, and you can log in, and then you log into your machine using the graphical interface. Thank you for watching, and wait for more videos.